Hi, in this video I wanted to share a couple of extensions that I already use and that have made my teaching really useful, and then I'll make another video to share some of the new ones I tried after working through the module. This first extension, and these are all Chrome extensions, is called ProKeys, and ProKeys is a text expander that allows you to have short abbreviations of text, but then when you put them into a email or for my example here would be like a Dropbox or a news item, it will expand and put the entire text. And I'll show you an example. If you look into my ProKeys account, I have tried to organize things by emails, and in the courses I teach, like American government stamps or grading stamps. I have some for remediation, psychology, AP Psych, plagiarism, etc. And so I went ahead and opened up just a blank course that I have, and I have it under news item because I don't have any Dropbox items in here, but it would work the same for that. But for example, sometimes teaching high school, you have students who plagiarize, unfortunately, and I have a really long feedback for plagiarism in which I quote the student handbook. Then I also provide the students with an image on accidental versus deliberate plagiarism, and then I also provide them with a Vimeo for helping them with paraphrasing in the future. And before I started using ProKeys, I would have to either cut and paste that whole text and then go in and add the HTMLs for the videos. But once I started using this extension, I can come in and just type in my code and all that's put in there for me. So my code for this is PLAG, and then you just hit Shift space, and then all that information dumps down in there. And all I have to do is when I look at the student's Turnitin report, say their paper was 99% plagiarized, I just put in the percentages that match up with the student, as opposed to having to cut and paste all this. And so they get all this information, and all I had to do is type 4 letters and hit Shift and space. And you can see it's got a link, it's got a image, and it also has a video. I also use this with some maybe grading stamps. For example, one, I type in well, Shift and Command, or Shift and space, and it gives me a little stamp. If I know I'm going to be saying the same thing over and over again, like watch your APA, or if a student didn't do their APA citations correctly, I'll type in APA. And then I have a sentence that I have had to type repeatedly to students. They mostly in my classes miss double spacing throughout and indenting on the second line in each thereafter. So that's a lot easier for me than having to type that sentence every time I just type APA. So that's one extension I really like. Another one up here is called Split, and you can split your screen with this one. And all you have to do is once you have added it, you click on it, and it'll give you options for splitting your screen. And a lot of times I like to do this where I can see 2 things at once, especially if I'm traveling and I don't have multiple monitors to look at. So those are 2 of my favorite extensions. I use a lot of them, but those are the ones that have helped me the most, and maybe you can find a use for these somewhere in your teaching or courses or just day-to-day life.